unintended consequences. And for many big PlayStation fans, that seems to be happening with the lack of first party games and announcements.
But then you guys had a problem with a couple of fools picking up an Xbox telling you guys that there's a lack of first party games on the platform, man. I find it so funny that now all of a sudden you people want to admit that the PlayStation has no games.
Gamers who wanted
That's what happens when you speak more about the hardware than the games that you're actually playing.
To win or dominate in the console space probably didn't anticipate that it would lead to a more relaxed posture with their first party studios. Since the PlayStation
No, it's just that Sony doesn't have anything, man. They're afraid to put out these AAA games because people are more likely not going to buy them. The market has single-handedly shifted and changed. This is what we've been trying to tell you people, man. We are living in a new modern era where most people want to digest their games entirely for free. That's why Microsoft had the incentive like, okay, we know people don't like buying games anymore. I mean, they do on Nintendo, but not on PlayStation and Xbox. So let's make it more appealing by saying that all they got to do is pay $20 a month. Most of them are subscribed to some form of online membership. So there you go. So it was easy for Microsoft to be able to change that. And it's been working for them. Now, Sony, as of right now, they're on track and trying to sell you these games, but yet people ain't buying them. I mean, look no further than Astrobot at 1.5 million.
Showcase in the middle of 2020.
You ponies say that we got 60, 70 million PS5s out there, but yet you can't even break 5 million on a game like Astrobot that won Game of the Year, bro. Like, I mean, the game got highly praised. I mean, the game was talked about by reviewers in a positive fashion, and yet nobody cares to go out there and pick it up.
23, the burning question on many minds is, where are the first party games? And if you felt that in the middle of 2023, it didn't get much better
it's been like this since the beginning of the PlayStation 5's release, man. I'm sorry, bro. The PS5, in my personal opinion, is by far one of the worst PlayStation consoles that I've ever experienced. Matter of fact, I think I've had more fun with the PS Vita than what I'm having with the PS5.
Now, granted, there were great exclusives
like
in
what?
2024.
What exclusives are we talking about now? Because majority of these games are on PC.
But the first-party presence was once again lacking. And PlayStation continued their trend of not really communicating or having any consistency with their showcase.
Yeah. That's so funny that you guys say that Microsoft, you're bending the knee, but yet PlayStation can't even tell you what's really going on with their company because you know why? They don't have anything. They don't have anything to talk about because if they did, you guys wouldn't be so fixated in talking about what people are doing on Xbox or what games from Microsoft that you people are assuming that you're getting. I mean, come on, man. It's pretty obvious that the PlayStation 5 has a lack of games, no matter if you say they're console exclusivity. Well, the full slate is going to PC regardless. So as much as you people want to continue to cap about how I don't need an Xbox because we're getting all these Xbox games, well, guess what? You're not getting a lot of them on day-and-date releases. Maybe a few Bethesda and Activision titles, but not every single Xbox game you're getting day-and-date. Like, you guys have to be that stupid to think that you're going to be playing all these Xbox games day and date when the Xbox exists. Maybe when Microsoft chooses to not focus on the console market anymore, then maybe so. But at that point, PlayStation won't have a console either. See, that's what you guys don't understand. We're heading to a reality where Microsoft and Sony will have all their games playable on one device. This is the direction. And now maybe me speaking this, y'all thinking that this is crazy talk, right? But like I said, you guys have to understand, because a lot of people say, oh, Boomstick, he's crazy. He's saying that Xbox. Well, there's some truth to it. People have to understand the casuals really speak volumes in the market. I've listened to hardcore gamers. I've listened to casuals. And you really have to listen to these casual gamers because as much as you people want to chastise and denounce them, they're the ones pushing the market. So whatever they're feeling, that's where the market is going to go to. And as you guys can see, PlayStation obviously bent the knee by putting games on PC. Microsoft has been bent the knee by putting games on PC, but it doesn't really matter at the end. Because when Microsoft has their application or their app, where anybody goes out there and buy a platform, no matter what it is, let it be owned by Sony, they're going to support Game Pass Ultimate. And that is when Microsoft's going to single-handedly have you. Once they find out that there's no such thing as a console war no more, and there's only one console and there's one box, and you got PlayStation app and Xbox Game Pass, where do you think the gamers are going to go? They're going to go to Game Pass because Microsoft is providing the better games as well as the experiences and the games that people actually want to play. This is where Sony is in trouble.
Cadence. Fans waited 2 years to get a
This is why I
showcase in
keep reiterating that PlayStation gamers need to support your own titles. You going out there buying a PS5, picking up Xbox game is only hurting. It's only hurting the PlayStation brand anymore. Y'all think it's hurting Microsoft, but it's not. Microsoft's going to continue to bring out their games regardless, no matter if they don't have a platform at all. Same thing with Nintendo. It's like people picking up a Nintendo Switch and they're playing third party on it. Then Nintendo would say, then why do we have a platform if people want to pick it up for games that we don't even own? See, I think you guys don't understand that, and I think this is the reason as to why you guys be acting like this in the community.
2023, and Spider-Man 2 was the biggest thing there. Everything else was a cinematic trailer for something like Fair Games, Marathon, or Concord.
Which we already know that's going to be a failure.
And we all know how Concord turned out.
And we all know how Marathon's going to turn out. So, I mean, and the funny thing is, you guys want to sit there and talk about how Sony's not putting no games on Xbox. Marathon is dropping on Xbox. This is a Sony-owned title, and yet you guys say that Sony cares about exclusivity. Then why are they dropping Marathon on Xbox then?
And in 2024, they didn't even do a showcase. And given what we've already seen and what we've already heard about 2025, I have bad news for PlayStation fans who want more first-party games and announcements.
They really think that Sony cares about exclusivity. And what's even more funny, right? Remember when they had MLB on Xbox and they sat there and said, oh, it was the MLB license. It's not this. So then explain to people why it was on Game Pass Ultimate before it was on PlayStation Premium. You guys say that Sony cares more about their platform than Xbox, but yet they put MLB on Game Pass Ultimate before it even hit Premium, and that's a game that they created. You guys are so stupid, bro. At the end of the day, you guys are all getting shafted. Just sit back and enjoy your games. The console wars is over, bro. Grow up already.
I don't think Sony is going to change anytime soon. Now, there are still some potential surprises.
Changing. And this is a big change. I mean, it's not the biggest of changes, but Sony has also put games back in the days like Twisted Metal on PC, something a lot of these ponies don't want to bring up. So when these ponies talk about, we got exclusivity, well, explain why your game's all going to PC, because once you go down that rabbit hole, then that means you can go elsewhere. It is what it is. Microsoft did it. Sony will follow suit.
Studios and games who may show up in 2025. But before I get into that, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and if you like this kind of content, check out some of the big single-player titles that PlayStation is known for. And it seemed to come in the wake of a very clear slowdown from the first-party studios. But then Herman Hulst did an interview where he slipped in an interesting perspective about the games coming from Sony in 2025. He did an interview with Famitsu, and he was asked the following question: how many titles are currently in development across PlayStation Studios? And his answer, I can't reveal the exact number, but we have a lot of great titles.
Because they have no number.
Titles in development, including Ghosts of Yote and Death Stranding 2 on the
Which is not even a game they own.
Our portfolio has a wide variety of games, so they're
I'll explain the whole Death Stranding thing in a little bit more detail as we go through this video. But yeah, just listen up.
To be something for everyone. Now, the first part of his answer isn't that alarming. I don't expect a hard number of how many games are currently in development.
I do. I'm a gamer. I bought a gaming console to play some games. Yeah, well, I would like to know what that hard number is, honestly. Like, what do we do? Like, is this what we're doing?
Development. But it's the second part where he says, we have a lot of great titles in development.
Yeah, you have a lot of great titles in development, but yet you're not telling anybody, bro. It sounds like a whole bunch of garbage.
And then he includes
PR talk at its finest.
Death Stranding 2. Now, Kojima Productions is not a first-party studio, and the rights to the IP were sold back to Kojima.
So when you guys say that Death Stranding was not owned by Sony, you guys are capping. You guys are capping. Let's go back and rewind that. Game still with another W.
In development, and then he includes Death Stranding 2. Now, Kojima Productions is not a first-party studio, and the rights to the IP were sold back to Kojima.
So who sold it back to Kojima? Sony. So Death Stranding is on Xbox, mostly due to Sony. But y'all like, oh, but they sold it back to him. So you know what that also means? That Death Stranding 2 will also be multi-plat. It's a timed exclusivity. No different than the first game. Kojima probably said, hey, Sony, you put this game on the map for us. We'll do you this little favor. But we're going to put the sequel on Xbox at a later date. I told you guys are just fighting over timed exclusivity. Nobody cares. Exclusives don't matter anymore.
Death Stranding has since landed on both PC and Xbox. Now, obviously, Kojima and PlayStation have a good relationship, given how Death Stranding was launched and published by PlayStation first.
Remember when I said that back during the PS1, that third party felt inclined to drop their games on PS1 first due to the fact that Sony was publishing their games?
They also sold the rights to Kojima back to him, so that was probably part of the deal. But this means that Herman Hulst and PlayStation view Death Stranding 2 as, quote, their game. And if this is...
Yeah, because they were involved in it. That's what I be trying to tell people. So Death Stranding is on Xbox due to PlayStation. Because if Sony cared about exclusivity, they would have sold the game back to Kojima. So if that goes right there to show you that they don't even care.
Them making good on the commitment from Hiroki Totoki, we could be getting no other first-party games in 2025.
Woo!
Which begs the question, why would PlayStation space out their games so much?
Because they don't have anything. You have to space out your games because you have nothing to play. Like, they can't just give you everything and then every year you're not going to have nothing to play.
This is why I said to be careful what you wish for. Traditionally, those who cheered for a particular side in the console war,
which would be you,
would celebrate certain things. Snagging exclusives,
sounds just like you.
Selling more consoles,
sounds just like you.
Or getting things early while the other platform had to wait for it.
Sounds just like a typical PlayStation fanboy. But go ahead.
Well, PlayStation has seemingly won that fight so handedly that they now have a full calendar.
They won it so much, guys, that they don't even have games to play. Bro, get out of here with this garbage, bro. Y'all want to sit there and keep talking about how PlayStation 5 won the generation when Microsoft has the best year of 2025, bro. New people know it. I mean, even through his own admittance, PlayStation 5 don't really have nothing this year. There you go. And then you get mad when PlayStation 2s are picking up an Xbox because they're sick and tired of waiting for good quality games.
Of exclusives or relationships that they just have to respect. Look at 2024 as an example. Games like Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin,
which all failed and did not sell.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
which another failure, did not do well.
Have to be given space on the calendar. Imagine working with Team Ninja to get exclusivity with Rise of the Ronin.
But is it really exclusivity if the game's inevitably going to drop on another platform? See, this is what you don't understand. Sony is doing timed exclusivity. So what are we arguing now at this point? We're not even arguing exclusives. We're just arguing timed exclusivity.
Also dropping Ghosts of Yotei in the same year. And the same goes for games like Stellar Blade and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. They're right in the vein of the type of games that
so essentially what you're saying, go ahead,
PlayStation studios tend to make.
I'm going to add
more than that. When you win the hardware saturation fight as much as the PS5 has this gen...
Oh, here we go, bro. I mean, you guys still haven't even eclipsed the Nintendo Switch, bro. And when the Switch 2 comes out, whenever that system is released, we already know the Switch 2 is going to blow the PS5 out of the water. Ain't nobody want to hear this garbage, bro. Y'all are second place, and that's where y'all going to be.
You can play from the lead position. Don't believe me? Look at the blog post from PlayStation titled Great Games to Look Forward to.
Which is funny because I actually brought this up to people's attention.
2025. And you will quickly notice something. There's almost 20 games on the list now, and they've added more since it was first published. And Ghost of Yotei is the only first-party studio game.
Woo! So that shows you that Sony ain't doing nothing. You hear that? Ghost of Yotei is the only first-party game y'all can look forward to in 2025.
Death Stranding 2 is almost assuredly a timed exclusive from what I would consider to be a second-party relationship. And then there's two smaller titles with console exclusives, Baby Steps and The Midnight Walk.
Yo, Sony is trolling y'all, man. Did he just say Baby Steps? And then the Midnight Walk. All right, so this is how you got to play him in the story. You know, I'm really looking forward to this. So you got to play Baby Steps first, right? And then in Baby Steps, you become a man-child that grows into an older man. And then you got to go for that Midnight Walk. Like, what, bro? Even the names, bro. These are exclusives? That's it?
Exclusive from what I would consider to be a second-party relationship.
Oh, my.
And then there's two smaller titles with console exclusives, Baby Steps and The Midnight Walk.
Baby Steps in The Midnight Walk, man. You know, that explains PlayStation 5 perfectly. a walking simulator. You have Baby Steps, which is walking, and then you have the Midnight Walk, bro. Like, I mean, even the titles of the games are making fun of PlayStation.
So why would PlayStation publish a blog that promotes a list of games that are mostly not their own? The answer is because they can. The average...
because they can. Yeah, bro. You're capping, bro. You're salty right now, man. Ever since Couple of Fools exposed you, you're salty, bro. It is what it is, man. Now you're going as far to say that PlayStation has no first party. We already knew this already. Why do you think you guys are expecting Xbox games to drop on your platform?
PlayStation consumer has no idea what any of this means. First party, third party, second party.
Yeah, we know that. That's why they too busy playing Fortnite.
Your party, my party, it doesn't matter to those consumers. If you still don't agree, the most compelling game that makes this point on the list in that PlayStation blog is Doom the Dark Ages.
Which is an Xbox game. Oh my.
That is an Xbox game studio and a Microsoft published game. PlayStation clearly doesn't care. The average gaming consumer sees a long list of huge games like Doom, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Monster Hunter Wilds, Borderlands 4.
Oh, you know, the games that people actually want to play. You know, that's funny that you bring that up to people's attention.
Elden Ring, Night Rain, Civilization 7, and Mafia the Old Country.
So you're essentially admitting that the PS5 is only for third party.
And they probably think...
So I don't understand as to why Sony gamers brag about exclusivity so much when clearly you just destroyed your own argument by saying that these are the games that people are looking forward to.
I'm not going to be able to buy all these games, let alone finish all of them.
Well, maybe if you had Game Pass Ultimate, right? You could have played Doom Dark Ages, Gears E-Day, you could have been saving some money. Oh, I don't have all the money to buy. Oh, now you don't? I thought PlayStation gamers bought games. Hold on, let's hear that again. I don't have the money. I would have just said I'm not interested in most of these games. I wouldn't go as far to say I wouldn't buy them.
Elden Ring, Night Rain, Civilization 7, and Mafia the Old Country. And they probably think...
all third-party games.
I'm not going to be able to buy all these games, let alone finish all of them.
But I thought ponies buy games, though.
Even play all of them. This turns games like Yote and even Death Stranding 2 into periodic notes of exclusivity or brand-defining games rather than something that the platform needs to lean on or rely on. At some level, you could say this is being a victim of success situation.
No, that's a load of crap, bro. That is a load of nonsense. Because the Nintendo Switch, with how successful that system is, they still dropped out a lot of great games, bro. Cut the garbage, bro. Y'all hearing this? Like, you guys are taking things and trying to change it to suit your own narratives. Oh yeah, guys, the Super Nintendo was so much better than the Genesis that they just stopped dropping games throughout half the generation. No, the games was getting better and better and better and better. Genesis, better and better and better and better. PS1, and it just started off... Actually, the PS1 started off a little worse. But then it got every year, it just started getting better and better and better and better and better. PS2 was so... better and better and better and better and better, that even when the 360 was better and better, it was still better and better. Because the PS2 was going up to 2008, dropping better and better and better games. Like, what do you not understand here, man? This whole, it started, better and then it, getting worse and, Sony got so comfortable that they feel like they ain't got no games no more. Bro, that is capping, bruh. I don't want to hear that, bruh. That is the stupidest logic I've ever heard in my life, bro. Oh, we're going to use that to justify why we have no first-party games. Because Sony, they've been dominating and now they don't even have to do nothing anymore. And you guys are accepting of that? Because if you are, that shows that you're not a real gamer.
Which obviously has good and bad elements to it. It certainly is frustrating.
Sounds mostly bad to me.
To have fan-favorite studios like Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, Insomniac, or Bend just go quiet for such long stretches of time.
Yeah,
but it
they have nothing.
Means they can take their time, ensuring games are at their best before...
Bro, we got 50, 60-year-old PlayStation fanboys in this community. They don't have no more time. Okay? They gonna be gone, bro. While y'all sitting worried about Microsoft being dead and gone, y'all gonna have to worry about your own funerals. What are y'all doing? Y'all gotta worry about, bro. Y'all need to get an Xbox now. Y'all don't got time to waste no more.
they release.
Y'all 50, 60 years old. Y'all acting like you're young.
Also puts more pressure on those studios, however, to deliver a high-quality product when it finally shows up. I do think, however, this leaves room for a few potential surprises in 2025.
There ain't no surprises. The surprises is on Xbox.
For Spider-Man 1, and they made a pivot. Rather than sell a few $10 DLCs for Spider-Man 2, you could do a spin-off game for $40 or $50 and use crossover or just something to build upon or be used.
It's funny.
I'm putting the likelihood of this showing up pretty low because it would be a pretty big Marvel marketing push to be so quiet about up to this point. Now, another potential surprise is whatever Bend is currently...
I don't like surprises. I like to know what I'm getting.
...working on. All we know right now is that Bend...
because the last few surprises we had was Marvel Spider-Man, what was it? The online multiplayer and Last of Us 2 surprise, and those 2 surprises got canceled. I'm not a fan of surprises. Thank you.
...is working on a brand new IP that builds on the...
Y'all know y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all know it. I'm done with this video, man. I got no more time to waste on this fool, man. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, Reforge Game, and he is capping at its finest.